Good day. Good day, dear member of Lionel Legal. A happy Christmas Eve wish to you and your family. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, you name it. It doesn't matter. But it is Christmas Eve for us here around the Lionel Legal Conspiratorium. And this year has been loud, exhausting, confusing, and, well, dishonest in many ways. In ways a lot of us never even expected to see so openly. Everywhere you turn, somebody is selling fear or selling guilt or selling silence, selling obeisance and obedience. And we've had it, my friends. People with big platforms who whisper for reasons we don't understand. People with influence who hide. People who know better look the other way because, well, maybe it's easier. Maybe it's safer. And in the middle of all that, Candace Owens gave the country something rare, and they still can't believe it. She gave us guts. She gave us balls. She gave us backbone. She gave us something, my friends, that people just don't understand. People don't get it because you don't see this often. How many times can you say you have seen real, absolute intrepidity? And she shows it what it looks like. When somebody refuses to fold, oh, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. It is solemn. No bows, no fake sweetness, no bows either. No corporate holiday cheer, just truth. 100% brutal truth, said straight when it actually mattered. Oh, it was glorious, my friends. And that's what this is about, because it's such a rarity. And that's the sad part. What Candace Owens has done really is not complicated when you think about it. It's not complicated in any way whatsoever. It really isn't. It's something different, something a little bit more obvious, something more, I don't know, dare I say more beautiful. It's authenticity. The fact that she believes in something and says it flat out. And she didn't hide it behind any kind of fancy language or degrees or experts telling her what she was allowed to say. No corporate donor speak, not through the prism of corporatocracy. She didn't ask donors or editors or party leaders or social media mobs for permission. She didn't, stick her toe in the water and hope it worked okay. She looked at what was happening with her own eyes. And she trusted her own judgment. And she says, I'm going to do this and be damned. And remember, she may not be right all the time. She's right a lot. But it doesn't even matter. The fact that somebody actually said something that they believed in and they did it without any hesitancy whatsoever. I mean, this is just incredible. She said it out loud, knowing full well what would happen next. Ask yourself who, maybe with the exception of, I think, Alex Jones, who has proved time and time again, he is bar none the most brutally brave, Braveheart brave. But she, in a league of her own. And you know what? Her time came, and the retribution came. The pile-ons, the smears, the headlines, the threats, the attempts to shame her into silence, the threats to perhaps annihilate her. She took it and kept standing. That is the gift. You see, in a world where most people kind of test the room and test the water and test the room just to make sure that everything's okay, before she spoke, she just spoke. Spoke first, paid the price, without pretending it was easy. She didn't care what you thought. I mean, she wanted you to agree with her. She would like it, but she wasn't worried about whether you accepted her. We live in a time right now when courage has been turned into branding. People who want to look brave and appear brave, but not actually be brave. They want applause without risk. And they want to say just enough to sound bold, but not enough to lose friends or jobs or status. Candace Owens said no to that deal. She said, She said, don't hedge. Don't backpedal. Don't say a little and then kind of wade into it. She didn't issue those sad little statements that start with, I want to be clear. No, 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 no. She meant what she said with absolute clarity and pellucidity and limpidity. With the braveness, she knew exactly what she wanted to say, and she said what she meant. And she understands, listen to me, she understands something that old school folks should know, because she knows something about old school America. If you don't draw your own line, someone else will draw it for you, and you probably will not like where it ends up. And that's a lesson we all can learn from. So she drew hers early and stood on it. She knew exactly what she wanted to say. And what really separates her from so many others is not volume or attribute. It's something different. It's consistency. She's been saying the same message, the same basic things for years, even when it cost her. Family matters, truth matters, this country matters, reality matters. Lies destroy everything they touch. Fear is how tyrants win, and silence is how bad ideas survive. And none of that is extreme. It is common sense. The shocking part is how rare it has become to hear it said so plainly. Candace Owens also understands something. She understands power in the way a lot of talking heads do not. Power is not just politicians or corporations or media companies. Power lives in social pressure. And it also lives and exists in shame. Power lives in the fear of being called names, or losing access, or being labeled difficult or problematic. That quiet pressure keeps millions of people quiet every day. She stared that pressure in the face and showed people something important. Once you stop feeding it, it shrinks fast. You cut off the blood source. It's like reverse angiogenesis. And that is why critics scream instead of debate. They're not actually interested in answering her points. They're trying to scare her and intimidate her into quiet, into silence, into going away. And anyone watching sees this, because what she represents scares them more than anything. A woman, a black woman, a conservative black woman, a mother, a wife, a Christian, a Catholic, oh my God, who refuses to play the role she's supposed to play. A thinker who doesn't outsource her conscience to everyone, to approved and okay authorities. See, that breaks the script. And when the script breaks, the people who rely on it panic, and that's what we've seen. Pay close attention, my friend. I know you are. There is something very American about the way she speaks. It sounds like the town square, like a regular citizen saying what everything is and what everyone is thinking. See, not like a consultant testing language in a focus group. She talks like a human being talking to another human being, you. And that is why her words travel so far. People hear her and think, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. But I didn't know how. I wasn't sure how. Could I say this? Is it okay? Yes. She also exposes one of the biggest lies of modern public life. The lie that disagreement is hate. The lie that questions are violence. The lie that obedience equals goodness. She doesn't scream about it. She just refuses to play along. And that's why she's so dangerous. She asks basic questions. She points out obvious contradictions, and she notices patterns. She stays calm when everyone else wants her scared or emotional. And that alone feels radical now. What she really gives people is permission. Permission to notice what is right in front of them. Permission to say no. Permission to trust their own eyes. And permission to trust their instincts. That's the real influence. Not copying her opinions, but copying her posture. Standing up straight, speaking clearly, taking the hit, keeping moving, not afraid to look your adversaries in the eye and say, I'm not moving. I'm not blinking. I'm not backing up. I'm not backing down. This is what I believe in. And if you don't like what I have to say, don't listen to it. Just go someplace else. Isn't that a wonderful idea? If you don't like it, change the channel. Hashtag, so what? You don't like what I'm saying? So what? And you can't give me a label. You can't call me a racist, which is odd, or anti-Semitic, or whatever it is. You can't. Those words, the rules have changed. The world doesn't end when you speak the truth. That's the message. And the mob moves on and lives on. Life goes on. Your self-respect stays with you. My friends, there is also generosity in what she does. She does not like folks who use phony courage or feign courage. She doesn't do that. That's another story. She does not act like courage is something only special people have. She models it so others can pick it up. You can hear it in the way she talks. It's the way she acts. It's like she's saying, don't worship me. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm coming to you as an American, a fellow American, on this Christmas Eve. And this is real leadership, not control, but example. She's telling you, I can do it, you can do it too. And she reminds us that patriotism doesn't mean bowing to authority. It doesn't mean relegation. It doesn't mean basically giving in, acquiescing. No, it means loyalty to principles. She doesn't confuse the country with the people currently running institutions. She doesn't confuse the flag with bureaucrats hiding behind it. And that difference matters. That is how free societies fix themselves instead of turning into places where dissent exists only on paper or only theoretically. Her incredible courage has come with a cost, and that matters. Anyone can look brave when there is no downside. But when there has been a downside, and what she has seen is incredible. Smears, lies, attempts to isolate her, attempts to neutralize her, attempts to remove her, attempts to scare others away from even being associated with her. She absorbed it and kept going. And that is not performance. That is character. She also shows that strength doesn't require cruelty. She can be sharp without being unhinged like so many of her other certain male counterparts. As she one time said, she exhibits testosterone, they exhibit estrogen. They're feline. She can be firm without being hateful. She doesn't need to dehumanize people to beat bad ideas. And in a culture addicted to outrage and clicks and screaming and yelling, that kind of discipline is rare. And there was a lesson here, by the way, for anyone paying attention, and I know you are. You don't need a massive platform to matter. You need a spine. Platforms rise and fall, but integrity adds up. And the people who last are the ones who timed trends perfectly. They're the ones who refuse to lie when lying would have been easier. This Christmas Eve, my friend, the gift Candace Owens gives is not comfort. It is something better. It is resolve. It is the reminder that regular people still matter, that words still matter, that courage is still possible, even when the incentives are all wrong. And it is practical. Speak up at work when someone is being pushed around, when something is wrong. Push back when language is being used to confuse instead of explain. Defend someone, a colleague, a neighbor, who is being unfairly targeted. Ask the question everyone else is afraid to ask. Tell the truth to your kids instead of handing them over to screens and slogans and approve swiping narratives. These are small things, but they stack up and they add up, and that is how cultures actually change. And Candace Owens did not wait for history to give her permission. Nay. She acted in real time and real quick, and that is the difference between spectators and citizens. America, my friend, was not built by people waiting to be validated. It was built by people willing to risk being wrong in public. So today, Christmas Eve, when families gather and the year winds down, it's worth saying this clearly. Her example, Candace Owens' example matters. Not because she's perfect, again, but because she showed up, because she stood when it would have been easier just to sit. Because she reminded people that fear is a lousy guide and a terrible master. That is a real Christmas gift. No batteries, no expiration date, just a reminder that courage spreads and that this country still belongs to people like you, willing to stand up and speak like free Americans. So, my friend, to you and yours, to your family, on this Christmas Eve, we wish you happy Hanukkah, of course, and happy Kwanzaa, and whatever your means or iteration of of festival procuring is and are. Doesn't matter. We thank you. Thank you for supporting us at Lionel Legal. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for your incredibly important and critical comments in this section. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for hitting the little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And thank you for subscribing. Those factors, those demographics, those metrics of likes and the like, all of that means something very simple. It means that we're going to be put into the HOV lane so people can hear what we have to say as we talk about a panoply, a bevy of topics involving law and culture and music from a legal take. That's all, my friends. So thank you. I have some questions for you to ask. I prefer that you do it quickly and shortly, and I thank you right now. And I ask you please to recognize, again, how much I appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Have a great and a glorious Christmas Eve. And until we meet again, I ask you always, as usual, to comment, dear friend, as you see